Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Invasions, week 26, day 2. So of course today we are going to mainly be messing around with the Wild Court. That of course is the new, or not new faction, but the faction event for today. I believe this is the second time the faction ever has came around though. But basic premise is just go all the way down to that corner and then just go over there. The only thing you really need to check for is sometimes this battle over here will be less than this battle, and you might sometimes go and take these 3 battles in some order and then go down that path. But for the most part, it's go all the way down there and just finish it out. Tends to be the pattern for this stuff. However, we will start with invasions, as it is an invasion week. And go grab, what is this, a redeem code already? Oh, yeah, duh. I was going to say, I already tested the redeem code that we're going to be handing out later. I was wondering what that was for a second. Also, Salty never gave me more codes yet. We're almost out of codes. But anyways, let's go do invasions. We're running very, very low. This shouldn't take too long. Of course, pretty easy invasion week this week, given that if you have Wild Queen, it's pretty much auto-win. Due to the attack buff that'll end up doing into first slots. Will end up being enough. Oh, and of course, they also have the leprechaun, or not the leprechaun, the Thanksgiving hat things, or whatever they're called. I forget what the hat is called. Not sure if it has a special name. Pilgrim hat, I want to say. I'm not even sure what the proper name for that is. But they end up doing that for Thanksgiving, of course. Okay, no alignment here, so let's go for the poke to get that out of the way, so we could go for other one-shots and just kill them all out with one-shot skulls. Should be easy enough. I guess we'll go for Earth's Fury, because why not? Actually, probably should have done that on the one that had a lot of armor, because he has skull reduction, which would have been bad for our skulls, because we probably still don't have enough to one-shot him now. I'll take that. If nothing else, we can go hit him directly. Not too big a deal. Hit him directly with our other ability that we have just sitting there. And I might even just be able to kill him with the anti-invasion tower capability. So we'll just go for that. That should kill. And almost. Not quite, actually. And then we just hit it with any skull, or really any amount of damage. Anything that we do that does do damage, we'll end up killing it. Other than, I guess, exploding a skull, but that doesn't really count. And then we kill with Earth's Fury, which is only 28 damage, but 28's enough. Salty's in Key Lime's Twitch stream right now. Tell her to send me more codes when she gets a second. Okay, we'll go grab, we got Earth's Fury down for now. Grab that onto there for now. Get our other hit over there. Unfortunately, does not die, but we can just go for the double kill. Actually, that's not even going to be enough for a double kill, but we'll still go for the splash damage because it's going to be worth it into the skulls that we need. Do it on the next one in line. Normally, you go for the next one in line just because the attack reduction. You're going to normally end up killing out the one at first. So you normally want to attack or reduce the one that's coming up next, because your skulls will most likely end before you end up getting to that troop, and just to make sure that they don't end up doing any skull damage to you by reducing down the attack of the one that you think you'll end up killing up to. Sometimes you'll still do it on first. It really just depends on if how the board is set up, and on if you think will end up killing the first slot or not. Because if it ends up killing the first slot, then you have to worry about the second troop in line, or the next one in line. But if it doesn't kill the first slot, then you don't have to worry about it. And you kind of just have to judge which way it would end up going. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I didn't even realize you could click on that screen while you're going through the loading screen. I wonder what would happen if we clicked that after the fact. I should have tried, though that would have wasted a bunch of sigils. I definitely should have tried there. Hello, Mobarashi. Also, hello, Steve. Hello, William. Hello, Umberto. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We'll get that down. And anyways, kill that out and be good to go. Yeah, we'll take skull for now. And then we end up killing it off of that ability. Okay, 7 more to go. Should probably take 5, actually. Thank you for that, William. Greatly appreciated. Oh, I should have went for the true damage tower. This one's normally the most annoying tower in the game, the crossbow tower. Main reason for that is the amount of true damage they can single target out, and is normally one of the more dangerous towers to have to deal with. Yeah, unfortunately, we did not get to kill there. Our prediction was wrong, but it shouldn't matter much. We just grab that. He's already dead there, and then we just Wild Queen into what should be match. And nope, we didn't get the second skull, but still our turn, so we just grab it, and he's already dead. Easy as that. But yeah, Wild Queen is really broken when you can give it a 5 times extra damage on top of the damage she already steals. Actually, we almost already won this battle. There we go, we won. Oh, never mind, not yet. And now we won. Hello, Mark the Punk. Welcome. Well, last battle unless we get a Valraven Tower. And then we go do other things. Oh, no, we did get a Valraven Tower. Nice. Okay. What do we need here? Let's grab a brown for now to get Wild Queen roll. Oh, I didn't take the yellow. I mean the green. Completely missed it. I'll take the red for now. Give us everything up. Literally everything. Do we have any other drops? Doesn't look like it. I think let's go for even though we're going to miss. So much so I almost feel like we should do this on first slot. Nope, we end up getting it. Wow, we actually got a really, really lucky board given. Whoa, that was insanely lucky for how bad the board was set up. He's decked out the entire team. One after the other. See this all fall to the amount of skull damage we have there. I might armor tier that before we start hitting him. Would probably make sense. So let me go for the armor tier. So we'll do that. Then we'll Wild Queen, and hopefully first slot doesn't die. Do have to be careful about that. Ooh, that might be dead. Close. Not there yet. It's getting there though. Good. He does not go for first slot for whatever reason, though he didn't have enough damage to kill, so I guess that wouldn't have mattered regardless. I don't have an Earth's Fury right now, so we can't go for that as an option. Ooh, okay, that's bad. We might need some more Earth's Fury then. We do have Barrier every brown. We are still using the Titan Hero Glass, so we'll be able to use that to protect some. But battle's not going too good. We generally do not want our first slot dying like that. We can still end up winning, but we're getting a lot of bad luck right now. I don't have a drop for that, do I? No, we do not. So we'll just go for a green for now. Get that on Surge. Oh, shouldn't have given him a little bit of mana there. He does not give us a skull, but he might be able to get off the sky, and we kind of did. We just take that. And he still has his barrier again. I think we poke away his barrier and then go for the skull poke. And just go and attack reduce the other guy. Good, it did end up getting the kill. And that's the extra turn, and he's already dead. There we go. Do you know if the Winter Imp is kicked in yet? No. It doesn't kick in until December. It probably doesn't kick in until the Friday of the new Mythic. So whatever the first Friday of next month is likely the time that it kicks in. Lately, it's just been popping in during the Friday reset of the new Mythic. So whenever a Mythic comes in on the first Friday of every month, is normally when the Imps reset, except every other month. And the Winter Imp runs from December to January, then it's Imp of Love from February to March, and so on and so forth through all the Imps in intervals of 2 months. So basically every other, essentially how it works is every other, Mythic that ends up coming in on the first Friday of every month, it ends up resetting the gnome, is basically how that works. Don't need to worry about them too much, as the gnomes are rather underwhelming troops that are basically dead content only accumulated for completionist purposes. But if you do want to get them, Winter Imp is not available yet, but it will be likely the first Friday of whatever December is. So that is the 6th. So probably on the 6th you'll be able to start getting Winter Imp, and then you'll be able to for about 2 months until the following Friday of February. But anyways, that's invasions. Let's go do a daily task, because there's something really shiny on daily tasks today, of course. And as the fact that we have green tasks, and with the green tasks, we can simply just go and kill these out real quick. Get a bunch of green deeds. If you haven't already gotten Zolkari to max, I definitely advise doing so, as it is the only green kingdom that is a magic bonus. As far as the follow-up to that, I'm not really dedicated to any yet. I think I'm just going to be saving the rest of my greens until we get a new faction that comes out that's green, in order to pump it all up in there, in order to make the new faction a bit easier. However, at this current moment in time, I have no plans on using my rest of my green, so I can save them for that reason, as I feel like we would end up getting better value for saving them for a upcoming faction, just to make it so we might not need to upgrade the treasure hoard as much. Because if we end up getting a 50% bonus for the treasure hoard, we could get along about a 150 or so, and still have about a 200-ish bonus or so. It doesn't come out exactly to that, but essentially we'd be able to do similar to that and not need to go and max it out as much, while still getting essentially the same amount of stats or very similar amount of stats. And he just dies off the Doom Skull. But yeah, I wouldn't really place it as a high priority to get all the imps. They are currently not associated to any kingdom, nor are they useful. So they have almost no value other than just for the sake of getting them. Even after the buff last year, they didn't really become viable. And it wasn't really much of a buff. I think they just gave a little bit more of a magic increase whenever they take their color, which is helpful, but it didn't really make them better much. Like, it obviously helped, but it didn't make them viable as troops. They're relatively dated. Some of them were some of the best troops in the game when they first came out. However, they have not dated well at all. At least as far as their usability is concerned. Okay, and let's get these final green deeds. Or actually, I should say the final, what's it called? The special deeds, the legendary deeds. The crowns? Wait, now I completely forgot. What are the special deeds called now? Imperial deeds, right? Wow, why did I completely forget what they're called? But yeah, those special deeds that are in a color that you need for the final level, or the final 2 levels. But you'll probably need it for all leveling beyond 15, because they're almost guaranteed going to be increasing the deed level, or the level of all kingdoms to 20. Do be mindful of that into the future. Like probably in about a year from now, or half a year from now, they will be increasing all of the kingdoms to level 20. Currently, they're obviously at 15, but they will be higher than that. They've already confirmed that in the past. Plus, it's pretty obvious with the level 15 that it would go to 20. Similar to how the star system is guaranteed going to go to 30, because the current stars are up to epic coloration, whereas they still have room to go do legendary and mythic coloration. Plus, they already confirmed they would do such as well eventually. Hello, Drock! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, Imperial Deeds. Okay, I did get it correct when I said Imperial Deeds. I was just second guessing myself. Because I don't say the term that often. Because very rarely do we ever end up getting them or use them. Yeah, Legends take forever to rotate around Soulforge. So if you're waiting through Imps for Soulforge, you're going to be waiting for a very, very long time. The Legend rotation takes almost like a year or something. It's absurdly long how long it takes to rotate. Okay, maybe it's not a year, but it is really, really long. It's like, what, 8 months? Maybe 9 months? I don't even know these days. It's much longer than the Mythic rotation, because obviously there's more Legends in the game than Mythics. And for whatever reason, they do both of them at only 4 at a time. For Mythics, that somewhat makes sense, though for Legends, assuming that you would do Mythics at 4 at a time, you'd kind of think that they would do like 8 Legends at a time in order for them to rotate at a similar speed, but they don't. You're saving brown deeds? Have I used them yet? No, I have not used them yet. I'm holding off until we get a brown faction, which I believe will be Urskea faction as the first one. I believe it's 2 factions from now, if I'm not mistaken. Not next faction, but the following faction, I believe, is Urskea. Also, what is this loading screen right now? There we go. One more set. But yeah, Urskea, I believe, is the first place I'm going to be using it at. No, I'm not 100% confirmed, which is why I haven't used them yet. But yeah, we should be getting pretty close to be able to max out a kingdom with just browns. I believe we need one more event until we do. Because I believe we have 24 right now, I want to say. And I think we need 30 in order to go get a kingdom upgraded. So if we get a legendary or a mythic brown deed, we should have enough to go and upgrade a brown to max. I have still been holding out for a kingdom that's associated to it. But yeah, I believe Urskea, I don't have the screen for it up right now. Let me go get it. Where's the link for that? Let me go double check right now just to confirm. But I believe if you do want to go use them right now, Urskea is the place to go because that's what next faction is, if I'm not mistaken. Or the next brown faction. Let's see. Wait, why is the link cut off? Oh no! I don't have the link up because for whatever reason that got cut off in my description. That's a fail. Let's see, did I post it twice? Maybe it's still down here. Nope. Oh, wow, that's an old spreadsheet. Why do we still have that there? Gosh, that's dated. I don't even think that spreadsheet link works anymore. But yeah, I don't have the link to it. Fail. Gigantic fail. I somehow, when I copy-pasted it earlier, I did, like, cut instead of copy. And ended up cutting it out. Fail. I need to go fix that later. I don't have the link available at the moment. Because I'm using the a slightly different setup on the thing, so I can't actually bring it up. That's not too big a deal. I can go get it up later. But yeah, last I recall, Urskea is coming up soon, TM. I don't think it's next faction, but it's the faction after next faction. Yeah, Stormheim. Oh, yeah, that's it. Stormheim is next faction. Urskea is 2 factions from now. I remember now. I knew there was at least one in between. But yeah, it was Stormheim. And yeah, Stormheim is the place to put blues. I started into Merlantis. However, I'm going all in back into Stormheim now, given that the next kingdom is or faction is Stormheim. But anyways, let's go and sure, let's hand out the code. I was already on this menu, might as well. Yeah, did anyone get contact on Salty? Not sure if she sent the codes yet because I don't have the page open at the moment, but hopefully she did. We'll find out. Okay, let me go give you guys this code. Oh, wait, why am I recopying it? I'm like copying it as if it's not already there. Fail. Here you guys go. Right over there is the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found even if your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over here is what you put in. Redeem code's right over there in the chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters. And it gives the same reward as always, the thing we just claimed. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And it only works on PC mobile version. Enjoy, everyone. So let's go clear out dungeons, and then let's go mess with a bunch of delves. Of course, it is a delve day. And I'm not sure how many people really bother going for a leaderboard. But, I don't know. I feel like you could end up doing it without leaderboard. This is one of the few kingdoms where you could probably do it without potions. When I said leaderboard, I mean, you could do it without potions, most likely. So if you want to ever attempt this place, if you haven't already gotten it maxed, doing it just with going up to 500 and doing it normally, which should be fine because you could just keep buffing up your HP and attack, and then get to a point where you're not killable, and then do that for every single battle. There's a chance you might die prior to getting to that point, but it is possible in that delve to buff up to a point where you can't really lose. She's playing Jackbox with Key Lime, really? I played that once at a friend's house before. It's okay, interesting. Oh no, it's not really the kind of game I would normally play, for the most part. I'll take that down for now. And let's get everything destroyed. It's too much of a social game for me to ever really care for it. I think that's the biggest problem with it. For me personally. And it was killed out with key. Grab ourselves the gold. Get ourselves the greens that we need there. Oh wait, I should take a red first. No. Right, I'll take the other red then. And let's get our other destroy and be good to go. Go from there, throw a key down. Take our the blue that we need, throw key to key, and then just get the other key in instead. There we go. Okay, so now that's out the way. Let's go do Underworld, and with that, we should probably go change our things as well. Go get ourselves more attack because I believe I'm running Gargoyle team this time, due to the color options that we have available. Where to go? This one is. Oh no, that's not the one I want. There it is. Wait, what did I show for the 20 for 100? Oh yeah, I showed the other version of truffle. I don't think I want to use that though. Though it does have gold gain. You know what? Maybe I will go truffle. I don't know. I can't really pass up any time when we have the capability of using truffles. It's just so tempting. Also, that means we need to go magic if we're gonna go do that. Also, hey, we finally get to use the magic for once, at least. I felt like since I've gotten that, I've almost never used a +8 magic. But yeah, let's go use it something. To actually get to use it, because it feels like we never touch it. So now we'll have an 8 additional magic, which brings its damage substantially high. Look at that, 51. Obviously, we still get delve bonus on top of that, but an extra 8 definitely helps out a decent amount. On top of that, any recommended team to counter web spinner? You can normally get away with Entangle, or just kill it out real quick. Anything that can burst damage first slot tends to be decent because you can outburst damage it before it burst damages you. But yeah, it can be a little bit scary due to its really high damage output. The biggest issue is not having any kind of tank up front. So if you don't have an Entangle, if you don't have a proper tank with like at least 50% reduction, if not more, and stuff like that, it can tear apart your team very, very quickly. And also takes only one good alignment for it just to plow through everything. But normally the easy strategy is to kill it before it kills you, because it's really flimsy and dies in a low amount of hits. While it can kill you quickly, you can also kill it quickly. Also, oddly enough, one of the good counters the web spinner is also web spinner. You just do an empowered skull on first turn with web spinner, kill out their web spinner in one hit, and there you go, you won. Because after you kill web spinner, their team probably won't be able to function as well, since most web spinner teams are heavily based on web spinner itself. And removing that web spinner from the equation tends to make them not as good. Also, one other strategy that you can do, though it's a bit slower, is if you're doing it something like in Guild Wars, where the battle might naturally take a little bit longer due to not having as many options, you can move the web spinner to a different location. For example, something that can move the first slot to last slot in some way. That will help you to make sure that you don't have to deal with web spinner for the duration of the battle, which will greatly reduce their overall damage potential. I still feel like an Entangle would be better in most of those situations, but it is an option to consider. if you're still struggling with it. Because there's plenty of cheap options that can move the enemy in that regard. Oh yeah, you can also use Obsidious to stun its thing. But a lot of people might not have Obsidious as an option for that. But yeah, you can use stun a web spinner and then all of its skull potential goes away. You still would have to deal with its skull spam though, of course, because that would still do damage. However, it won't do 3 times the damage. Which will make it a lot more tame than it would normally end up being. Have I played around with the double key team in Explore at all? Yes, I actually did used to run double Cedric for a while, but then ended up dropping it for the slightly quicker team. I don't know. I don't really use it at all these days, just because I feel like it's a bit too slow compared to using a one other troop to make the team quicker. Because you have to drop something if you're using double Cedric. You either have to drop a mana generator or a gold generator or something, or egg thief even. But normally you wouldn't want to drop the egg thief. But you have to drop something. There just isn't enough room with 2 of them there. Yeah, there's really no wrong way to deal with web spinner as long as whatever your team you're doing focuses on going for the web spinner. There's a lot of different ways you can disable it to a point where it doesn't do anything. The problem is when you do a battle without disabling the web spinner at all or going for the web spinner. Because then it just goes and runs wild. You drop the greed? That could work. And then just 20% mana start the egg thief and just rush it up like that. But egg thief doesn't have fast, right? No, it doesn't. It has agile and everything. Yeah, it doesn't have fast. For a second I thought it did. But no, you just give it a 20% mana start, which gets it to start with 2 out of 12 mana. And then you go and hopefully 2 turn its mana. And then you spam it. The only problem with that is you don't get an immediate kind of action in any way. But it still works. I don't have the controller plugged in. I keep not doing that. I probably should. Oh, also, speaking of not doing something, I'm going to go spend 30 gems. I almost forgot to go grab the thing that speeds us up. I was going to say, this seems a little slow, which is why I was going to mention the controller thing. But the reason why it feels slow is not because we're not using controller. It's because we are not using the enchant. I thought something was off. Because it did seem slightly slower than normal. But I think I'm still going to get the controller too. Might as well. It's only going to take like a few seconds to set up. This computer has been doing it really consistently, luckily. Not sure why my other one was doing it so weirdly, but all we should have to do is click the button, go click on this, and it should be up within moments. So let me see. Let me go see real quick if it actually will. 1 second. Oy. Whoa! Whoops! Almost dropped the mic. That would not be good. The mic almost slammed right against the ground. Okay, let's see if this picks up immediately. Come on, you know you want to. Look at that. Look at how quick that thing just picked up. Love it. Where's the thing for it? Oh. Oh, wait. Hold up. It did and then didn't. Oh, no. Not this again. Seriously. Hold up. It got it and then didn't get it. What is it doing? It's like trying to pick it up before I even click anything. That is very strange. It got it though. That was really weird. Like it knew it was there before I even hit anything. Let's see. I'll put that in there. Unless I accidentally clicked the button. Okay, it should work. Oh, did I even put that on correctly? Yeah, I did. It's so annoying when you put them on backwards. Okay, should be fine. There we go. It works. And now things go much quicker. Now we have enchant, and now we have controller. Much better. That's the speed I want to see. Level 7 chest, nice. Anything good in it? Probably not. Nope. Then again, is there really any drop we want other than shards? Like, there isn't a single thing I want from Underworld other than shards. Like, none of them have any capability. Ha, mic drop. Ha 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 ha. Quite literally. Not a good kind of mic drop, though. Salty's too involved in Jackbox to respond. But yeah, do try to catch her attention before she ends. Like, don't try doing it now, but like before they end up ending the stream, try to get her attention. Because I do need more codes. I think we have enough to go up to Thanksgiving and then we're done. We'll have 0 then. What does Enchant actually do? Enchant gives you 2 mana per turn until you cast a spell. So every single turn, we'll get 2 mana. So for example, well, actually, this is a bad example of a battle. I'll go deliberately do something. So here, he has 11 mana. He's about to have, oh gosh, I don't have a good example. Okay, I'll just take this. Oh no, gosh, that will give him mana. Okay, I'm just gonna have to show it next battle. There's just no way to show it in this battle. Okay, but yeah, it gives 2 mana every single. There's a couple of mechanics that it has, but the main premise of it is it gives 2 mana every single turn. So right here, be a bit easier to see. So right here, we'll go and take a, gosh, we keep getting too good of a board. So right here, he has 16 out of 17, and he has 5 out of 17. That will go to full mana, and that will go to 7 out of 17. As you can see right here, as it goes, boom. But that's what it does, 2 mana every single turn. One other interesting mechanic it has is, even if you get mana drained, you still maintain the 2 mana per turn. The only thing that removes Enchant off of you is casting a spell. So right now you can see he has Enchant, and now he doesn't have Enchant. But casting a spell removes Enchant from you, as well as if you end up getting dispelled. So if an enemy ends up casting a dispel on you, it will end up removing the Enchant. But aside from that, you'll gain 2 mana every single turn. And even if you get mana drained, you'll still maintain that 2 mana per turn. So let's say they throw like a 7 mana drain off of oh, what's his name? Gosh, I forgot his name all of a sudden. The Spirit Fox. So let's say they throw a 7 mana drain off of Spirit Fox. We'd still have the Enchant going. It doesn't end. Even if we were at full mana and then it ends up draining us down, that we'll still be able to have it because it only gets removed when we specifically cast a spell. So even right now, even though we have full mana and it doesn't look like we have a little thing over there, you can still kind of see the purple thing, and that shows that we're still enchanted. So even if we got mana drained right here, we'd still have the Enchant to go keep giving us 2 mana per turn. Yeah, that's basically the bottom line of what it does. And one other interesting thing about it is it does trigger on turn 1. So for example, in any kind of potion related area, you will have Enchant immediately, and this Enchant does trigger for the very first turn. So we'll end up getting 2 mana on all of them. The rest of the mana was from the explosion and from the, oh sorry, not from the explosion, was from the 20% mana start that we have off of our token, or off of our medal, I should say. But yeah, it does give an immediate 2 mana turn. The only other way that you can do that in a normal battle, at least with what currently exists, is there's a trait on a couple hero classes, I believe under Divine, that gives a random status effect to a random ally. And if that random status effect is Enchant, you can still get that 2 mana start on top of your mana start that you have. It's the only instance where you can get a mana start that stacks into another mana start. So for example, 20% mana start, 50% mana start, all that kind of stuff does not stack together. It just takes the highest value. However, if you get an Enchant on the start of a battle, that does stack with whatever you have. It's basically whatever your percent is plus 2. So if you got a 50% and have a 10 mana cost, it'll be 5 plus 2, so 7 mana for your starting turn. Unfortunately, there is no way outside of potions to really do it well on first turn, since the only other way to currently do it is, of course, by complete randomness, which obviously isn't that consistent. But yeah, it's pretty much every mechanic related to that. Let's see. Yeah, no problem for the answer. And if anyone else has any other questions, let me know. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a bunch of holiday shopping. Should be fun. I think we'll still make it back in time for the stream, though. I said I was going to stream at noon. It might be a little bit later than noon, because it might run till like 1 or so, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, a bunch of stuff I wanted to pick up. Some for the channel as well. Though I don't think I'm picking up anything for the channel tomorrow other than like a few cords I needed. Which isn't really anything special. It's not really something I could show. Hey, it's like, hey, we got new cords. That's not really much to mention. Let's see. We'll go for that for now. Let's see. We'll take that for now. Get our explosion. Get the other thing over and be good to go. Throw that down. He's already dead. Level 8 chest. Nice. Ideally, we'd want to see some level 10s, but I'll take it. As long as it gives mostly pure shards, it's the main thing I need out of them. Doesn't even necessarily matter if we get a high number, as long as it just drops us only shards. Also, I just realized something. I haven't changed the background since we started doing the background, have I? It's still the same one from 2 weeks ago. Or a week and a half, I should say. I never did bother changing it out. I need to. The process for doing so is a little bit annoying, though. It's not something that can quickly be done. But I do need to go do that. Oh, what was your wild court question? Sorry, Mobarashi. I completely skipped past it. Let's see. It would be a shame if you had to hand over some of the good codes. I know, right? Let's see. Do you think Wild Court is possible pure faction 500 without potions? Yeah, I just mentioned that earlier in the stream. Wild Court is definitely one of the locations you can get away with without using potions. And the main reason for that is the one troop has the capability of gaining HP and attack. And that combination will allow it to be able to go and win without needing potion effects. Potion effects obviously help, as with any faction. But potions are not required in order to win this delve. Some delves are kind of like that in that they might end up needing it in order to function properly. However, this is not one of the delves that needs to have a potion effect. You can end up doing it just off of that legend that gains a bunch of HP and attack. Actually, I don't even think it's a legend. It was the epic of the kingdom, or of the faction, I should say. But yeah, it works perfectly fine without potion effects. So if you don't have enough time to go do it today, don't feel too bad if you still want to go do the delve, because you could probably get away with it. You might still need a level at some. Like, you might still need a level to, like, 150 or 200 in order to get it completed, but I don't believe you'll need potion effects. It helps, but is not required. Yeah, I'm not currently on the page where I have all my codes. I can go double check after the stream. I'm pretty sure she'll get around to it. Yeah, more often than not, the cost to get a level 2,500 faction is not worth the 2,500 faction. It can be very, very pricey and run into like 2,000 to 3,000 gems, assuming you're doing it through an event. They're definitely not cheap. They're one of the biggest gem sinks in the entire game, from a late game perspective and end game perspective. Because throughout any other part of the game, you don't really need to worry about them, because high renown means almost nothing to you. Once you get later into the game, you don't have as many objectives to go for, and then you kind of start eyeing those because of all the extra stats that they can give. Plus, those pets become useful once you start getting around like the double-digit star levels, because I believe level 14 starts requiring multiple pets and stuff. I forget exactly what level kind of bottlenecked. I believe it was 14. It was either 13, 14, or 15. Somewhere around there ends up requiring 2 level 20 pets, which is generally the time when you end up needing the faction pet to be level 20. So I'm surprised that thing's still double-shotting. But it's working. Oh, Cedric. Well, that's not going to be too good. It's already the final room. Oh, no! I should have just taken a Cedric. I didn't realize this was a 1.2. I just assumed it was a 1.25 because most tier 4 rooms are. Mistakes were made. It's not that big a deal, though. It's going to make almost no difference with our score. Very, very minimal. How's he not dead? There we go. Get our last of our mana and just take it out and be good to go. So we'll go grab this. And dead. Yeah, I'll take this other one. Okay. Explosion. Grab a green over there. Get another hit over there. Last little bit of green, and he's dead. Actually, he's not dead. We need a little bit more mana. And now he's dead. And we just take the final room, go from there. Breezing right through it. Let's see what else we need. Let's grab ourselves a nice explosion. Come on, there we go. Get that rolling. Get out of the brown. Get a mountain going. Can we even get it? Yes, go for that. Right into a good mountain, which should hopefully get us all the mana we need to go and get our truffle going. And if not, we'll go cast the other thing to go do it again. And then cycle back around with a double. Oh, don't even need the double. One is enough. There we go. Perfect. Use Lord of Storms for Gob Truffle team after level 100. Well, we're not going to be going over 100 right now. But yeah, this team could definitely be adjusted if you were going to go post 100. I just like using Truffle Loop just because of, I don't know, I'm just a huge fan of the team. As long as it still loops as good as it does, even if it's not as meta, I'd probably keep it as an option. Similar to how I really love the composition of Key Team. And I'd be using Key Team even once it's not meta anymore. And it's even started to lose some of its meta-ness, but I still use it. Just because it has a good resource rate and it's a lot of fun to use. Alright, I think so anyways. We'll take that for now. Because we get the other Cascaded Green, then we get all the mana off of that, and then we auto win off of Truffle Spam. Though we are going to be 2 mana short, unfortunately. But he's already dead, so it doesn't even matter. Yeah, Stone Slicer with triple Gargoyle is pretty viable. I would normally show that every single time, as it is actually more viable than using Apothecary. I mean, it is more viable than using Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, and double Gargoyle. The main reason I don't show it, though, is a lot of people don't have the weapon. So I didn't normally just show the version of the team that doesn't use Slicer. Yeah, we were using it some at the time, back when it was like actually, you know, obtainable. But the biggest issue now is a lot of people do not have Slicer. And I generally try to stay away from teams that most people wouldn't have. I still do all occasionally, if something is like insanely good for something. But yeah, Slicer with triple Gargoyle is stronger than Apothecary, than Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, double Gargoyle. It's just a lot of people don't have the weapon. Okay, we'll go for the other hit right there. And then it's double Truffle. I'm trying to think of what other weapons haven't been craftable yet since their release. Has Rope Dart ever popped back around? I can't even remember. I don't think Rope Darts came back around yet. I think it is soonish. But I'm pretty sure since they've had Soulforge craftability for old weapons, I don't believe Rope Dart has come back. Has it? I'm trying to remember. I don't believe it has. I'm pretty sure there's at least still a few that haven't rotated back around. Yeah, Rope Dart's in a couple weeks. Yeah, it hasn't rotated yet, but it's getting close. Really close. And then everyone can start building Divine Ishbala, Quilla, and Rope Dart teams. That's going to be fun. It's already one of the most annoying teams in the game, among one of them. Like probably top 5 most annoying. Yeah, I believe it's coming before the end of the year. It'll be our little Christmas present. Being able to craft a Rope Dart. Of course, we already have it, but a lot of people don't. I believe it's one of the only few craftable weapons that hasn't rotated back around yet that's extremely viable, as far as the extremely viable category is concerned. Because it's one of the best weapons in the entire game, yet most people don't have it because it hasn't rotated through the Soulforge yet. And anyone who still has it got it through the event like 2.5 years ago when it got released. December 6th. Oh, that's the same time as the Mythic. Nice. That's right around the corner. But then we just double Truffle, and we'll be good to go. Zogoth Leprechaun Jar Vise with 20% mana start is pretty annoying. It can be. Got to be really careful with a solo Zogoth like that. I do it for Guild Wars just because there's not as many other options. But if you're doing it for PvP or some kind of other game mode, you have to be really careful, especially in upscaling locations like Delves. Because if he dies, the entire structure of the team can lose its value. Oh yeah, Yasmin. Don't forget, everyone. I should probably remind everyone every single day this week. But don't forget to go and buy Yasmin's Pride from Soulforge. I 100% advise having that before the end of this week, as it is an insanely good weapon. And if you don't happen to have enough colored gems to go and do so, go and try to encourage your guild to go do more pets and go get colored jewels off of that. You have no way of really focusing it down, but you do have a chance, of course, every single pet gnome that you'll be getting shards, and those shards and those little color things will hopefully be the color that you need. to end up crafting the weapon, and then you can end up getting the weapon. But yeah, it's insanely good, Yasmin's Pride. It's basically Earth's Fury, but for HP, which is extremely strong, and it helps you stay alive. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to be seeing. Pure Shards. It was only a level 8 chest, but it's still like level 10 chest rewards, since it was all in on shards. Because even if we get a level 10 chest, if it's not all in on shards, its overall loot would be less valuable to us, since the only thing we technically need from them is shards. Yeah, Pridelands event is after the Mythic. It's the Monday after the Mythic, if I'm not mistaken. The one where you'll be able to get Rope Dart. It's the Monday after New Mythic. So we're getting a lot of things right at once then. I believe that's also when we're getting the new faction? I forget what date it was on. Because I believe next week is faction week. Because this was new hero class week this Friday. Which also worked quite conveniently because that means there's no class event for this Thanksgiving. So no one needs to worry about that on Thanksgiving. Also, we will still be on normal schedule for Thanksgiving if anyone wants to pop by tomorrow on Thursday night. We'll still be doing our normal time. We won't have any daily stream that day though, but we'll still be on a normal time for Gems of War, of course, at 8 PM Eastern Standard Time. And hopefully we'll hand out a few codes as well. Assuming I get more from Salty. Otherwise I might not even have any to hand out. Which would be unfortunate. What do I grab? What do I grab? Let's grab blue for now and go get truffles going. This is why I normally ask for them in advance, but if I ask for them too far in advance, she'll say, hey, why haven't you used the other codes and all that, blah, blah, blah. Or she thinks I'm, like, using all... Like, if I ask for them in advance, she thinks I used all the codes that she already gave me. Which makes it hard to actually ask in advance. But, yeah, hopefully she will soon. Problem with asking too late, though, is she sometimes takes, like, an entire week to get them. Okay, we'll take this one. You cannot get the color jewels from challenges, if I'm not mistaken. You can get diamonds, but I don't think you can get the color jewels. You might be able to get shards, which I guess you could use for color jewels. However, I would not advise doing so, as the exchange rate of shards into color jewels is not worth it. You should always use the shards on diamonds. They are much, much, much better value on diamonds. Unless you're like really desperate to get a small amount in order to craft it or something. I would not advise it. Compared to doing diamonds instead with them. Oh, are they all jewel colors on 8? Never mind. I guess you could get some that way. And I assume the color is based on whatever color the kingdom is. Never mind. Oh, so it's tier 8 with all that, and then you get 10 diamonds at the end, most likely. That makes sense. Say, we just have to find where the green and brown kingdoms are. So probably Zolkari, Kazil, Forest of Thorns, and whatever other ones fall into that category. Forget the full list off the top of my head. Easiest way to check is to see what mastery the kingdom is. Whatever mastery the kingdom is what color jewel they would also give. So it's green like Forest of Thorns, it'd be a green jewel. Also, what on earth was that? Also, Zolkari would end up being green for the same reason. Oh yeah, that was just a controller. I must have been holding down the stick or something. While I don't have it connected to any kind of command, it still goes all weird when you end up doing it. When you like hold on the button. There we go. I can lure Salty to the stream by giving out fake info on the beta. Okay, I'll give out some fake info. Next, let's see. No, I won't. Next patch is going to be the best patch ever. How about that? I'll take that down. We'll get the explosion. I know he's double truffle. And just kill it out. We're already good. I know, fake news. There's your fake info on next patch. Now where's Salty? We shall summon the salty with salt. Maybe I should do a salt emoji. Because I don't think there's any way to naturally do one. Wait, does YouTube have a default salt emoji? Hold up. Do we have salt? We have sake, but we don't have salt. Really? We need a salt. We also have salad. How do you not have salt? Also, I just want to click the salad. What does that salad look like? That's a really detailed salad. That actually looks really good. It's making me hungry for salad now. But there's no salt. Like the bat signal, the salt emoji. We must summon the salty. Oh, why is my scroll not working properly? There we go. Okay, let's go get his chest. Level 7. Boom, boom. On to the next one. Ooh, we did not get that many shards. I hate when it drops for other resources. Because no other resource is really relevant to us other than the shards. At least in this regard for these kind of battles. Because they're the only one really centered around progression at the moment. The other ones still help though, of course, like gold, glory, all that. But the shard is the only thing I really want to be seeing. As we need those for new factions. Which, how many shards are we sitting on right now? Why do I feel like the number isn't that high? Oh hey, the screen's actually lagging for once. I got a not responding. I haven't gotten that for, I don't think ever on this computer yet. Gems of War not wanting to respond when it goes back. I guess we did too many battles too quickly or something. Yeah, it is not wanting to move. We've got a lag problem. Oh wait, you found a salt. Oh wait, never mind. That's the text-based salt. That's not the emoji-based salt. But it's still a salt nonetheless. Okay, seriously, why is this taking so long? Go, go, go! Well, let me finish out this water, I guess, while we're waiting. Good water. It's still not down? Game, do you want to respond? At this point, I'm just going to shut it down and restart it. It's probably quicker. Close the program, cancel. Where's Gems of War? Wait, I don't have a quick tap for it? I have it on my menu, but I don't have it on my other thing yet. Gosh, there's still so many things I have to set on this computer. Like all the presets I'm so used to on my other computer. In time. Let's see. There we go. At least it restarts really quick. Anyways. What do we need? We need to go do, keep doing dungeons. Was there something I was going to check? There was something I went back to go check, and then I completely forgot about it. Salty was streaming last night, and she'll be doing Puzzle Quest tomorrow. I was looking for something, but then completely didn't find it. Let's see. I completely forgot what I was going to go do. First crash since the new PC. That wasn't really a crash. It was more so just like a loading screen. It's something that always happens on the PC version of Steam. Anyone who's on PC for a while probably knows what I'm referring to. Where if you do a lot of battles, it sometimes freezes. It's been doing really good at not doing that freeze, but it just did it right there. Okay, seriously, came out here for something and now I completely forgot what it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't too important. If I completely forgot. Wow. Okay, well anyways, let's go back. Oh, that's not where I need to go. Completely forgot what I came out for. Let's keep going. Oh, I'll take the brown for now. Let's grab ourselves a Splody. And anyways, truffle him to death. Be good to go. Do we need any mana there? No, let's go do that into mountain. And should be good to get all of our mana going. Perfect. And he's already dead. Oh, I know. I was going to check how many shards I had. Aha, I remember. 6,252. That seems relatively low, but I haven't been doing the daily ones, which is why. I remember now. Alright, we'll take this and then just loop around. Yeah, that's why I wanted to check how many shards we had. And 6252, or whatever the number was this, just was. Any thoughts on faction assault weapon for a Wild Hunter? It's bad. You'd never have any purpose to use it. Most of the ones from factions are pretty bad. Ooh, speaking of bad, wow, that board is completely missed. Yeah, let me go double check the weapon real quick. Last I recall, it was horrifically bad. Let's see, how bad is that bad? Oh, it actually just has a thing if it says it's owned or not yet. That's cool. That's a new thing. But yeah, deal true damage to an enemy. If the enemy has Hunter's Mark, deal triple damage, then Hunter's Mark them. Yeah, it's a pretty bad weapon. It doesn't have enough true damage normally to one-shot, which is the biggest issue. It also doesn't upscale to higher level content. And even against people that are around your level, it's not going to one-shot. And if it can't one-shot, it's going to be completely pointless. And even if it can one-shot, it's probably not going to be worth it compared to other options. Because one-shotting things one at a time is relatively slow. Especially in the current state of the game. You normally want to be killing multiple things at once, either with scroll spam or AoE or multi-hit abilities. Very rarely do you kill them out one at a time with abilities anymore. You might do it one at a time with skulls, but with abilities, not so much. Because skulls can really easily do their impact again, whereas abilities take quite a while to get up. Especially since you might need multiple options to, you know, get to that point. Whereas with skulls, you just simply take a skull, boom, you're good to go. You don't need any kind of mana startup. You don't even necessarily need any troops to assist. Those assisting troops, of course, does help, but it's not as required compared to mana accumulators. Like, for example, you can't just use something that has 24 mana without just using a mana accumulator on your team. It would struggle to do anything. Whereas you could quite literally just put a web spinner in the front of your team with nothing else and it would still work. I guess it would be okay with Archer class. Because you have two different ways to instant kill. It's still not the greatest, though. And there's multiple other options that hero has for one-shotting. It's also not guaranteed one-shot. But if you're in a battle where you can consistently one-shot with it, I guess you could consider it with Archer. There's very few situations where that would be applicable other than PvP, though. And even then, it might not have enough damage. It's also dependent on you having another Hunter's Mark option. Though if you're using hero for that, I guess that would be enough. Assuming you get a few extra turns in there. We haven't gotten a good faction weapon since forever. Yeah, I think the best, most recent faction weapon was probably Life and Death, oddly enough. And that was 4 or 5 factions ago. But I'm pretty sure Life and Death was the most recent good faction weapon from Silver Necropolis. And that's, yeah, about 4 months ago or so. 4 or 5, somewhere around there. It's been ages, that's for sure. All mythic weapons upgrade level 10 or not? Yes, that is correct. Every mythic and doom weapon goes up to level 10. The way that it works is commons go to 5, rares go to 6, ultra rares go to 7, epics go to 8, mythics, or sorry, legends go to 9. Yeah, I said that right. But yeah, commons go to 5, rares go to 6, ultra rares go to 7, epics go to 8, legendaries go to 9, and mythics plus doom weapons go to 10. So yes, all mythics go to 10 and all doom weapons go to 10. And already dead. Yeah, Life and Death does rotate, of course, every single time Silver Necropolis comes back as an option. And I think it was just back, like, what, a week or 2 ago or so? Yeah, it was back pretty recently. But I was referring to when it ends up coming out. When I said multiple months ago. Like when it was added to the game when I say coming out. Not the most recent time that it was available. And it should be enough to kill this off with skull damage there. And there we go. Another set down. On to next. Oh, we got some glory in there. I guess glory is not too bad. Out of all the other rewards we could possibly get from it, I think glory is the one I would want to see the most. If it was to be anything other than pure shards, glory isn't too bad. Even legendary ingots wouldn't be too bad, but I already got all I need. But there's probably quite a few people that still might need some more. And in those instances, legendary ingots isn't that bad either. So you do eventually reach a point where you have a surplus of them. And then you just need epic ingots as your last option. Okay, I'll grab that immediately. That should be enough to get us rolling. Hopefully we get some into our other truffle, otherwise we'll just have to do that. Come on, other truffle. Get your mana ready. Come on. Actually, our first truffle can't even hold it. Oh, is our second one expected to? There we go, he's already dead though. It's not gonna matter. He'll do whatever and then he dies to truffle. As things should be. Also, we're getting really close to that arbitrary goal that I set a while back. To reach level 1,500 by the end of the year. We're pretty much there. We're level 1,494. 100% we need to have it by the end of this year. For no other point than that we set it as an arbitrary goal to do so. Oh, that is not what I meant to do, though it wasn't the wrong move at least. That's technically a higher multiplier, which treasure room, but there's a 5 behind it, so I guess we'll keep going. This is what I'm normally referring to when I say that going down this path is the way that you sometimes start. Because these other rooms can be tier 5s and tier 4s and stuff like that, which ends up overall increasing their value when they do happen. Why did I do that? I should have went for truffle, but at least we have double truffle now just to loop into the win. And there we go. Though I should have checked to see if it was higher than a 1.2. Luckily it was. It could still have been in that one other battle that would have made it lower than the other multiplier. That's not too big a deal. If we go slightly off a multiplier order, that's not going to hurt too much. Makes almost no resource difference. It does make a resource difference, but it's really, really minuscule. Another treasure room, gosh. A lot of treasure rooms. There's a lot of percent chance treasure rooms in this place. Which obviously isn't as viable as 100% chance treasure rooms. But it's still nice when they end up triggering. Nice surprise when you run into them. But some of them are obvious, like when a tier 5 is underneath one. That's a treasure room location. Because that likely means it's the 1.4 times Dracula's battle thing. And another treasure room. I think we've got like 3 or 4 treasure rooms. I think only one is guaranteed in this entire delve. The rest are just luck-based ones. Hello, Jellybean! Welcome. You've been sitting on a ton of diamonds, but nothing in the Soul Forge I don't really have the past 3 weeks that excites me. That can end up happening. It can take months before you get a good rotation of something you might actually want. Because the mythic rotation right now is, I believe, getting close to 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. As far as how long it takes to go for a full rotation. I think actually maybe it's closer to 3.5. But it's starting to become a really long amount of time. Until it rotates all the way around every single mythic in the game. Because that, of course, increasingly gets higher every single month. How many mythics are in the game. Nowhere near as long as a legend rotation, but still long. Maybe they'll eventually add one more option. I don't know. I feel like Soulforge in general just needs a complete overhaul. It seems like a mechanic that was kind of added and then wasn't really fleshed out completely, and it seemed like they were going to flesh it out later, but they never really fleshed it out later. Same kind of applied to pets. Like, we had a patch that had pets, and then they, like, never touched it again. They just kept using that old format rather than making adjustments to it to make it better. Like, in concept, they could work really well, but they don't really do much to improve it, ever. Okay, last set. Actually, we're already done. Never mind. Though we'll probably still do that battle later on. But there we go. Claim over loots. Double orb. Anything good in these things? What is with our oranges? We keep getting so much orange. I think we're on like a 6 orange streak or something. It's definitely not a low amount of oranges. I would much rather have an actual basket of oranges than those orange orbs on this account. Okay, let me restart. Seriously, it keeps freezing every single time I go through there. It's not too big a deal, though, because it restarts within, like, seconds, at least, on this computer. I felt like my other computer took ages to restart, but we're already restarted, as you can see. Right over there. Doesn't take any time at all to get it right back up. So whenever it starts lagging, it's probably just easier to restart completely. There we go. Okay. Anyways, let me go do a little bit of metal farming real quick. Still trying to find those niches, and anytime I can get some pokes on it, we do want to go do. We are currently at 2 full niches and 1 badge, meaning we currently still need 6 tokens. We have not been able to make any more progress on that, unfortunately, yet. But, yep, that's why I gotta keep poking at it. We'll get it eventually. But still need 6 medals of Nisha, which obviously could take quite a long time if we don't get lucky enough. But, won't get any amount of luck chances if we don't try it. So I gotta keep poking on it. If anyone still has any other questions, let me know. So I'll probably do a few chests and then wrap up for tonight. But yeah, tomorrow we will be doing the Pokemon stream again. Tomorrow morning at around noon. Though it might be a little bit closer to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I do have some things I need to go do tomorrow morning. But should hopefully be up by noon if I can. Otherwise, it'll be a little bit later. Other than that, we'll be back at the normal time for Gems of War, hour prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will still be streaming on Thanksgiving if any of you wanted to stop by at night. Though I hope you all have a wonderful time with your family and anything else that you might be doing. I'm just doing it locally this time. Though one of my friends did ask me to come over for it. But I already kind of had plans with family. Let's see. I'll take that over for now. And I get Scorpius. Yeah, I'm probably not leaving anywhere again until this Christmas or so, sometime around there. Christmas, New Year, somewhere in that area. Still not sure what my schedule is at this point. Okay, let's go and keep killing these Moas. That is one nice thing about Explore. They did make it so it appears in both PvP and Explore. So we can actually get a pretty solid gold rate off of Explore right now. It is potentially, depending on what your base gold is, it is potentially around 400,000 per hour. Or at least based on what I get whenever I've been doing it. But with the Moas, yeah, it's about 400,000 per hour. That is a lot of gold to be able to go and get from it without having to even contact in PvP. Actually, now I'm curious. I wonder how many people made bots that do Explore now. Now that they could basically do that rather than having to deal with the inconsistency of PvP. Because it'd be a lot easier to bot Explore than PvP since it cycles the same several Kingdom troops. So they would have a lot less to counter compared to everything in the entire game. And it would still give the same exact amount of gold. Because Explorer does have the same gold rate as PvP now. Or pretty much the same. I think PvP is ever so slightly higher. But that's assuming that you can win at a really consistent rate, which most people can't. Nor could I. I feel like my rate ends up shifting quite a bit. Like 1 hour could be like 250,000, another hour could be 350,000. and it can kind of fluctuate up and down. Whereas Explorer tends to be relatively consistent around a 300 to 400,000 per hour rate. Which is still a bit of fluctuation, but not nearly as much as PvP. Set tier Hunter would give us extra, however, this team has no room for it, is the only problem. Like, there isn't a single thing we could replace on this team to still make it function. If we replace anything from this team, it'll make it incapable of being used. And we'd have to use a completely different team at that point. Because we can't replace out Mountain Crusher, otherwise we're going to have no initial mana accumulation or tank to make sure our Scorpius doesn't die. We need Scorpius in order to double kill. We need Leprechaun in order to get us rolling and to give us a little bit more gold, which in itself is already giving us more gold. Not as much as 400 per battle, but still more than we would be otherwise. And we need a reality for the poison, otherwise Scorpius can't double kill. So there isn't really anything we could replace out. I guess the closest is either Hero or Leprechaun, but the problem with replacing out Hero is you can't tank properly for Scorpius. And if you end up replacing out Leprechaun, you don't get a quick mana start to get everything rolling, which is one of the reasons why the battles even go so quickly in the first place. More often than not, it is actually not worth using the 400 gold troop unless you're earlier on in the game. Later in the game, you normally get so much extra gold from winning quickly with whatever good composition you can do compared to that of a 400 gold bonus. Because, of course, even though we don't directly have a 400 gold bonus, if we just win quicker, that's essentially doing the same thing as a 400 gold bonus. Or it might be getting less gold per battle, but we're getting more gold per hour. Which, of course, is the main statistic that matters. Or not statistic, number, I should say. I don't know what's the proper term for that. I guess it's number. Figure, I'm not sure. Not sure what the proper term would be for that, but you get the point. It's better to have a higher rate per hour than a higher rate per battle. Unless that higher rate per battle also equates to a higher rate per hour. But of course the higher rate per hour is what matters more. Similar to why I don't ever run 4 Fair Shross. It can get like 1,000 something souls per battle. But its hourly rate is, I believe, slower than using 2, oddly enough. Unless you can get really, really lucky. It is technically possible to get that to be a higher rate. However, now that you don't have like the 25% and 50% and 75% bonus anymore, it's been a lot less viable since then. And you normally just run double Fair Shroud instead. Because the extra speed that it has is way better than the than just spamming a bunch of souls per battle. Yeah, metric is probably the word I was looking for. I have no clue what word I was actually thinking of, but whatever word I used didn't seem it sound correct. I'll grab that. Get our mountain going. Get our lep in there. But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I'm probably going to wrap up after we get this next chest. But we'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, hour prior to now, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll also be around about noon for some Pokemon. We're mostly going to be shiny hunting and then doing PvP and a bunch of stuff similar to that. Let's see how that ends up panning out. I've been having a lot of fun with the game so far. Well, I'm nearing 100% completion on it at this point. Other than doing like extreme endgame stuff, like getting competitive, but I don't plan on getting too competitive on it. Just kind of doing it for fun since I haven't played it for such a long time. There we go. Oh gosh, what a horrible, horrible final chest. Oh, so we got a badge of Yasmin out of it. I'm starting to save all my medals of guard for next patch when we get new guardians. That's public knowledge, so I can mention it. Well, we actually have a lot of medals of Cedric right now. I haven't been using them for a while. 24 medals of Cedric. Gosh, those things are so common. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. As I mentioned, we'll be back an hour prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we always are. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you all have a wonderful Black Friday, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And tomorrow, of course, we'll just be getting a pet for Pan's Veil, that little billy goat thing. It's one that we've already had. It's nothing too special. So pretty much nothing in that regard. So you basically have 2 days to go and relax before, for Thanksgiving, because there's really nothing you need to do in game tomorrow other than maybe like normal dailies. And Thursday, we quite literally don't even have the class event, because luckily they aligned it perfectly so that the class event is this week, so that we don't have anything on Thursday, but then we have the class event on Friday. Because for whatever reason, there's never a 2 class events in a row. That actually works quite conveniently since it's a holiday this Thursday. Does it matter which kingdom farm for medals? Depends what team you're doing, and in which case, yes, but it depends on your team. Like, obviously, you wouldn't want to use a Devour team in KZL, as that entire kingdom pretty much has immune to Devour. The main reason you see me always go into Urskea is because there is 0 immune to poisons in Urskea. It is currently the only kingdom in the entire game with 0 immune to poison, and that's why you always see me doing Urskea. It's just because there's no immune to poison there, and obviously we're using an extremely heavy poison team that is dependent on all 4 of them being poisoned in order to quick kill. So that's why we are always doing Urskea, but it really just depends on what team you're using. Like I mentioned, KZL with Devour obviously is not a good idea, and there might be a few other instances out there, but those are probably the biggest 2 that are really relevant. Is not to use Devour on things that have a lot of Devour immunity, and if you're looking to use a poison instant kill with Scorpius, Urskea is the only kingdom that has 0 poisons. There's a few other instances like that, but they're very rare. Main kingdom I would say to avoid, though, is Groshnak if you can. Main reason you want to avoid this kingdom is because there's a troop there that has a 100% chance to revive, and you generally will not be running stun and quick kills for Explore, unless you just happen to be able to throw Scorpius on your team somehow. But you normally don't run stun, and or a good stun that can actually reach it, and for that reason, he's just going to get a revive, which greatly slows down your speed. That's why you're always going to see a 20% here. Even when I do 20% chasing, I basically never touch Groshnak, just because it's the absolute worst Explorer in the entire game as far as time is concerned, and you should always avoid it and never ever do it if you chase 20s. Just once you get a 20% on it, just ignore it forever and just don't do it. But anyways, guys, catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, and goodbye, everyone. Oh, wait, oh, never mind, I already answered that. Goodbye, everyone.